Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Debbie and I was just talking, but I was showing Debbie my hair. I gave myself a hot oil treatment yesterday, and now I'm gonna have to re-shampoo my hair. Debbie said, "With hair as fine as yours, you don't need hot oil treatment." I wanted to do something for my scalp, and I said a hot oil treatment, but I didn't leave it on as long as they told me to. So it was like maybe 10 minutes, and I think that was too long too. So I'm gonna have to re-shampoo my hair. Hello, happy Sunday afternoon. Hi, Gwen. I love you too. Dreamsicle. Hi, Bonero. Thank you for my flowers. Hi, Debbie H. I see you. I invited Sweets and Beyond to join us, so if she comes in and she wants to join the panel, she can. Hi, Wendy. How are you? It's Sunday. I haven't left my house all day. I was gone yesterday. Um, I was telling Debbie that I was on Ann's panel yesterday, and we had so much fun talking about all these shows. It was just fun to just kick back and relax on YouTube again. So, you missed us? Oh, Debbie, Wendy's front yard missed us.
Huh? What were you here, Wendy? Yeah.
Debbie, did you get your hair doo today? Can you show us?
Yes, I did. It's been 2 months since I've had my hair colored. So all of the regrowth got a
Can you
trim.
show us, please?
Um,
I'll show my hair. You show yours. Damn
no,
it, Debbie.
because I've already ruined it. I threw it up into
Oh,
like a
you threw it.
bun.
Okay. Yep. You just
I
got
threw it up into a
back.
bun. And besides, I'm eating.
Wait a minute. You got
Huh?
back about what, an hour or so ago?
No, because remember I told you I had to stop at
Oh, yeah.
Trader Joe's to see
Yeah.
if I could find the red kiwis, and I don't think we're gonna get them over here on the East Coast. I'm
What are
so
you looking
bummed.
for?
Red
Oh, they
kiwis,
have those here at
right?
Costco.
I'm seeing all of the West Coast content creators like showing that they got them from
Yeah,
Costco and
Costco.
Trader Joe's, but
So if I
yeah,
get you some
and
and
get them
ship
because they
them,
taste like
if I
bananas.
get them and ship them, would they be bad?
Don't ship them. They're too delicate. Mm-mm. But they taste like bananas,
Yes.
so go try them if
I
you
see
have them.
those at Costco here, but it's too
Hmm.
many of them for me because they sell them in a bag.
Yeah, but you know that kiwi fruits are amazing. If you eat one a day, it has so many health
Well, I buy
benefits
the
for
cups of
you.
kiwi from Safeway, like the kiwi and pineapple that come in a cup, or the kiwi and strawberry. I
Mm-hmm.
buy those cups from Safeway, and I'll have those for breakfast.
Mm-mm.
Hi, sweets. Let
Mm.
me drop the link. I told Debbie I invited you to come up, and I'm glad to see
Mm-hmm.
you. So hold on, let me drop you the link, sweets. I could have sent it to you earlier. Damn, I wasn't even thinking. Look, I could have sent it to her on IG. I wasn't even thinking. There's the links. You don't like kiwi. Yeah, I was telling Debbie about your channel
Mm.
and about your Puerto Rican cooking. She goes, Puerto Rican. I said, yes. But she cooks everything
Mm.
too, though.
I want some mofongo and some
She
coquito
doesn't
for
make
Christmas.
mofongo. Yeah, well, I don't know.
Why wouldn't she make the mofongo?
Okay, sweets, I just bought strawberry. See, I just started liking blueberries about a year ago. I just started
Mm.
eating,
Mm.
maybe a little more than a year ago. I just started eating blueberries. I don't know why I didn't like them, but when you buy the cups, you got the kiwi, or you have the blackberry, the blueberry, and the strawberries in the cup. So I'll buy like 3 cups, and then I'll make myself a fruit salad. Hi, sweets.
Hello.
How are you? Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. Nice
Nice
to
to
meet
meet you.
you.
Oh my God, sweets. We had so much fun yesterday. And I agree. We should take it over to TikTok too and have some fun over on TikTok. I
Yeah, when
agree.
you mention kiwi, I do not like, I like any fruit except kiwi because to me it tastes like it's rotten. I
Really?
can't.
Oh,
Yes.
my hairdresser says that when she tastes kiwi, it tastes like soap.
No, to me it tastes
And
like
I'm like,
it's rotten. I just can't. Maybe it's too sweet.
Okay, so now y'all gonna make me taste kiwi again, and I have some more in the refrigerator. I might have to bite into it again to see. I'm like, because to me, I like everything but the little black seeds because they get stuck in between your teeth, and I don't eat the little black seeds, but I like kiwi. Hmm.
No, I don't. Mm-mm,
mm,
not for me.
all I do is peel off the fur,
And
and I'm
mangoes,
good.
oh my god, the mangoes are so sweet this year.
I don't eat mangoes either, but for another reason. When
What?
I
Why?
grew growing up in Puerto Rico, in my backyard, I had 7 mango trees.
Oh,
And
nice.
one, you get sick of mangoes, and two, the
Hmm.
smell of a rotting mango,
Oh my god,
it
yes.
it's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that's
Yes.
something, yeah, ugh, I can't.
So it's like sugar cane. So like my grandfather used to grow sugar cane, right? And you cut them down. So I remember Papa told us one day, don't touch those over there. Me, being a badass that I am, I went and bit into the sugar cane. And you know what a sugar cane is when it's rotten? Your whole mouth just gets, and I haven't had sugar cane since. I refuse to eat sugar cane.
Oh my goodness, I love sugar cane. We used to live about 10-15 minutes from the Donku company that makes the white rum, Donku.
Uh-huh.
It's still made in my hometown in Puerto Rico.
Oh my God. Because in Louisiana, we have Gotcho Sugar Refinery, and we have, well, right in reserve, and we have, forgot the other sugar refinery. But he would grow, my grandfather grew everything: okra, tomatoes, corn, sugar cane, snap beans, lettuce, cabbage, pumpkin, you name it, peanuts, everything he had. So, look, I miss
If
those
you
days.
hear noises, I'm cooking. So,
Oh, that's okay because I'm used to Debbie chopping, doing whatever. I'm getting used to it. I don't
okay.
have any earbuds in, so I am good. So Debbie and I were talking about this last episode of Sister Wives. And
Okay.
can I just say I am so fucking disgusted with Cody and
Yeah.
his actions. It's I was asking Debbie. So when they went to dig the grave, him, Uncle Tim, and I forgot the other guy's name.
The
Okay.
brother-in-law.
The brother-in-law. Well, Tim was the brother-in-law.
Scott. Wait. When they were digging the grave, it was Scott, Cody's brother, and then
Yeah,
Tim, the
okay. So
brother-in-law.
Scott, Cody's brother.
Mhm.
Okay. He said they spoke to the sexton, whatever, they let him dig the grave. I'm like, really? I've never heard of that before, but okay, maybe so, because it's just to earn. Okay. But Cody was still making it all about himself. And Janelle gave him grace this episode. Did you see these kids when he got in that hole? Sweets, did you hear somebody say shut up, or did somebody say, oh my God, when he was talking about the dream with Garrison?
No, I didn't quite catch that.
Well, shit. Maybe it was in my
I didn't
look,
hear it
maybe it was in
either.
my
The
head.
only thing I No, the only thing I saw was Maddie rolling her eyes when he started talking about the dream.
But did you hear Maddie call him Cody? She goes, I don't have, she goes, I don't know what to say to Cody. She didn't call him daddy. She called him Cody. And Leon was there. He was filmed twice.
Yeah. It was nice to see Leon and to see Logan. Um, I'm glad that they came on. Even though Logan didn't really talk, we heard him briefly help out his
Yes.
mom and ask Cody if he needed help getting out of the hole. And he was rude to him twice when he was taking
Yep.
off the jacket and when he refused help to get
Yep. He
out of
said,
the
I got
hole.
it.
Should have
Yes.
left him in there.
Should have kicked him in, yeah.
But my whole thing with this, do we think, and Sweets, you and I spoke about this yesterday, and Debbie and I talked about this earlier. Who really believes that Janelle let Cody transport Garrison's urn?
Nobody. He didn't have it.
I just can't believe that because he never spoke about the special thing that was made for Garrison. And if he had that in that car, that truck, they would have been showing that.
Of course, they would have featured it.
But Janelle's breakdown, hi Just Beetle, hi Kendra. Janelle's breakdown back all through this episode just took me, not just Janelle, but Mary and Christine. But Robyn is so freaking detached from anything. I just can't with her.
But that's how she want to be.
Sweets, what do you think, sweetie?
No, definitely. I it's such a weird situation that they want to pretend like there's nothing wrong, that it's pathetic, to be honest with you.
It's beyond that though. They want to pretend that it's everyone else's fault. They for the last few seasons, Cody and Robyn have been trying to push this narrative that the reason why there is a breakdown with relationships with him and his children is because he has chosen to love Robyn.
That's not
That's not
it.
it. The reason why there's a breakdown in your children's relationships with you is because
Dick.
you're a dick.
Exactly.
And as a side note, they don't like her neither because she a dick too. But it's him. And he will never get it because he doesn't take accountability and he will never accept that he has done something wrong.
No, it's everybody else's fault.
But did
Yeah. Yeah. It's
But did
kind
you
of
hear when
weird.
Janelle say that there is no she said that no one is trying to what did she say? She said that no one is trying to reconcile with Cody, but it's just a family grieving. She made that clear. None of the kids.
Yeah. They call the truce to bury one of their own. That's about it. But that's the children that call the truce.
No,
Remember I told you to watch Cody's
yes,
body language during the
yes.
funeral? He was aggressive and angry.
But
And most of the time he was holding his head down because he could not look his
In the
children
eyes,
in the eye.
yes.
Because he knew he failed one of his
but did you
children.
notice that at the gravesite, he and Robyn were on one side and those kids and everybody else was on the
Hmm.
other side. Did anybody else notice that?
I think some of Christine's kids were on the
I didn't
opposite
see Chris.
side.
Well, maybe
I thought I saw what's your name? The one that pregnant now,
okay.
Aspen, Isabel. They were on the side where Robyn was because again, Christine always telling her kids, make time for your dad if he's in town. And they went over there. And I don't think he paid attention to them.
No, especially Aspen is the one that's having a hard. What? No, it's not Aspen that's having a hard time with the fact that she and her dad. Which one of them is having a hard time that he went to see? Was it Aspen?
He probably was court ordered to go and see Truly. No, wait, this is before the court order. This was last summer. When did they film the Valentine's dinner
In
thing? Is
December?
that
No, I'm
before
kidding.
or after? Because remember at the Valentine's dinner, Robyn said that it was not aggressive. What did she say? Because Aspen said, "Why don't you like me?" And she said that that was an
Yeah, I
interrogation
forgot
or
how she
something.
worded it, but she's not trying to reconcile that family. But those girls,
No, no, but what I'm saying is that if his funeral was in
it was
June
the
or was
summertime.
in
Yep.
July, if it was in July, When did he go and see Aspen to talk to her? Because I know he said Utah. This was in Wyoming, but like I just want to know the timeline. They've screwed up the timeline so
I don't
badly
know.
because those Valentine's Day dinners did not
In
happen
Valentine's, no.
on Valentine's. No.
I really don't know because you were saying that was filmed like when she got baptized. That was filmed after Garrison's funeral, well, his military funeral.
Yeah. Yeah. Her baptism was the end of March. The end of March, I think they said.
Okay,
And it was on social media.
but
They need to stop releasing things
but
like
it
Out of
that.
order, yeah.
but here's my question for you
Mm-hmm.
guys. It was said that the family, even in the thing, they said out of respect for the family, they stood back. I understood that the kids did not want
Mm-hmm.
any cameras or anything else. Cody is the one that did that.
See, I heard that that took place at the military memorial.
Okay, so
Yes.
okay,
They
because
didn't want cameras at the military funeral. And he
okay,
showed up with the whole crew.
Mm-hmm.
okay, that was the
Yep.
military funeral. Okay, all right. And what about when Peyton?
That was the first thing that pissed
So
off
what
the
did you think
kids.
when Peyton put his dog tags in and he had Garrison's? That choked me up.
I was crying almost the whole episode.
Oh
Mhm.
my, I couldn't take it. But when Janelle said her boys have always checked on their mom, and I know that my boys do the same with me. They call, they check, they FaceTime. So I understood that. I was like, oh my
But
God.
that's a credit to
Yep.
Christine because Christine basically raised them for
Yes.
Janelle. That's a credit to Christine. And when she got down on the ground on her hands and knees and leaned over that hole and cried her tears onto that boy, if you listen to Notes to Self 411, that's very symbolic in their religion because the women really don't have much to give but their tears. And that was her way of honoring him by giving her tears to him, before covering him
Oh
over.
my God, I
I
didn't
was
know that.
like, what?
That makes me want to cry even
That
more.
makes me, I'm thinking the
Yeah.
same thing. I want to cry all over. I was just thinking about me seeing her fat
Mm-hmm.
thighs jiggling when she got on the ground. But now
No,
this makes
Wow.
me just
no.
really emotional right
Yep, that was very symbolic in their religion. And then she also said everything is about symbolism, even in funerals. And when you was listening to, like, after Uncle Tim
now. Oh my
finished his
God,
sermon and
yes.
everything, right? And you're thinking that is done, and then all of a sudden Cody steps in and he's like, I just have to say something. That
I
was the
swore
plan, but
somebody
he
said,
had
oh
to.
my God, or shut up. I swore. Maybe that was in my head. I'm serious. I'm serious.
But that was all for him to, like, bring
Back
the
to
focus
him.
back onto him because he could not have Garrison continue to have the moment. However, what Notes to Self said with the symbolism struck me. Cody made sure to get his 2 cents in, not to bring the focus back to him. But if you listen to what he said, it was almost as if he was saying that Garrison came to him in a dream. And remember, dreams are very important to them because how do people know that they get their calling to go into this plural marriage? Through
Oh,
dreams. The
yes.
Lord comes to them through dreams. So Garrison, he's saying Garrison came to him and sat on the bed and was telling him to stop playing the sad music. That was his way of telling us that Garrison has absolved him
Bullshit.
and forgiven him, and all is good. Just carry on with your life with
Oh,
Robyn. And if there was ever a child who would never say anything like that, it was Garrison. So that whole
That
thing
was
was
fake. So
fake.
let me tell you, when he said that about how Garrison came and sat on his bed, I remember telling you that time I was in Houston when I said this. I was really, really sad. I was really, really sick. And I was sleeping. I thought my grandmother sat right on the sofa. All I saw was her in this white gown. Her hair was flowing. I forgot how long her hair was. And then she touched me and she was stroking my hair. She never said a word, but she always liked to stroke my hair. I got so calm and I opened my eyes and she was there and then she was gone. I was
Wow.
like, so when he said that about Garrison, I said, okay, I can believe that. But then coming from him, no. My grandmother has come to me a couple of times. My aunt has come to me a couple of times, and T has come to me. But I don't believe Cody. Hi, MRH. How are you? I don't believe Cody. I just don't. It was like, and I'm going to agree with you, Debbie. It was like he's telling them Garrison forgave him, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, because all he wanted was for Garrison and Gabe to apologize to him. And so what he was saying in that segment was, I got my apology. I'm good to go. Let's wrap this bitch up.
Sweets, what are your thoughts on that?
I didn't put too much into it, just him just BSing and saying his tales. But that makes total sense that he's trying to absolve himself. Like, no, he forgave me. Everything is good now. I
Okay,
get that now.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So where were they at when Janelle said she gave Cody the itinerary when everybody was fishing? Leon was there. Where was Cody and Robyn and and those kids? They weren't there. Everybody else was there.
No, they were staying in the hotel over in Cody because remember last week, Cody said, not last week, the week before last, Cody said, Cody, Wyoming has better hotels than Lovell.
But why didn't they join the family since he was so interested in, mending things as he said it, trying to.
No, no, he wasn't interested in mending nothing unless he's talking about a pair of trousers. Um, Cody was interested in spinning his own narrative by making this grand pilgrimage with his fallen military son who wanted nothing to do with him and seek by digging the grave. He was doing his penance and seeking absolution at the gravesite with the dream. That's all that this was for Cody. He had to push a narrative that he is still the patriarch of the family that he has
So
destroyed.
who was the woman at the gravesite? The older woman they blurred out. They showed the other woman. Was that Cody's mom?
Cody's mom was the one that was sitting down with her face
Okay,
unblurred.
so who was the woman next to her?
Probably a sister
I don't
wife.
know.
Okay,
Well, how many sister wives did Wynn have? Because I know it was Cody's mom and it was Janelle's mom.
is
Janelle's
deceased.
mom, they were standing on top of
Yep.
Janelle's mom. Um, but and another dead giveaway that Cody didn't know what was going on. He didn't know who had the plots.
Yep. And somebody asked him if Janelle bought plots. Remember that when was it his brother that, or was it Uncle Tim that asked, has Janelle bought all these?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like, "Do you know who has the plots here?" And he's like, "No, I don't know." He didn't care.
See, I knew, I read that. They're saying again, he wasn't supposed to have that camera crew there.
I think everybody is reporting that it was the military funeral. And here's why I think that it was supposed to be at this one because they mic'd up Uncle Tim.
Well,
If there was a big hubbub and they told them to stay back, They wouldn't have mic'd up Uncle Tim so we
Yeah.
could hear
But they
the
had drones
sermon.
above too. But let me tell you, when I saw Uncle Tim, I thought about my Uncle Joe in them Hawaiian shirts and them Hawaiian shorts that never match. The colors were always, I was like, Jesus Christ. But he did it out of respect for Garrison because he liked his Hawaiian shirts. But I thought about my Uncle Joe. He would embarrass me so bad. I was like, why? Why?
No, but Garrison had a company selling them.
Oh, Garrison did?
If you go to Yeah, if you go to what is it, Bob's Florals on
Yes.
Instagram, you'll see it there. That was his company. He was selling Hawaiian shirts, ties, like
Yep. I remember
apparel.
they said that on the show.
Hmm.
Yep, I remember they said that.
Hmm.
So, what else stood out to you with this whole? I can't stand Robyn. I really can't. And did you hear her say Cody brought his boy back home? Did you hear that shit?
Yeah, she could have kept it.
Did anybody hug Robyn or Cody? I see
No.
everybody was hugging each other.
Logan, Logan, a true gentleman, came up, and when she got out of the car with her spawn, he went over and greeted them, and I think he hugged a couple of the kids. But yeah, he was the one that went over and greeted them.
Now, whose house were they at in White? Whose ranch? Well, when everybody was after the service, they were all at the house. When Leon and Maddie was talking, um,
Hmm.
whose house was that?
I think that was a rental.
Airbnb. Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
Airbnb.
everybody was there except I didn't see
Hmm.
Mary there. And of course, Cody and them weren't going to go. But I think
Hmm.
Gabe was, to me, Gabe just looks lost. But I understand Gabe is living in Chicago now.
Yep, with
Yep,
a
I with
girlfriend.
him with, um, wait a minute, when he was digging the graves, I would. Have anybody ever heard of them allowing you to dig at the cemetery?
Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can do it for an actual body in a
Okay.
coffin. That requires that like there's legalities with the handling of a dead body and the burying of a
Yep,
dead
they have to
body,
be so many feet
depending
down.
upon
Okay.
the casket. But this is an urn and it's ashes, so it's different. And out there in the Midwest, it's a little bit looser. Um, and I've heard that in cases where people take their own life, they do allow the parents, if they want to dig, they do allow them to come and help.
Really? I never heard
Yeah.
of that. Sweets, have you?
No, I've never heard of that.
Hmm.
Huh.
I know I ain't doing it. I paid good money to have some lawn people to come with excavators to dig out my mama's hole. I was not doing that. I was incapable of doing that. But
But
kudos to
Debbie,
him.
you didn't cremate your
Uh,
mother, though, did you? Okay, well, that's
no,
different.
they weren't gonna let me do that in Barbados. Oh hell to the no! Not even like even for because I was talking about mine, and I was making a joke when we were signing off on all the papers and everything. I said to my nephew, "Look, just light me on fire, bring me down here in a
Oh,
Ziploc,
God.
dig out a little hole, and
Oh,
throw me
God.
in." And after they finished
Jesus.
laughing, the people at the cemetery said, "Well, we would have to dig the
Oh,
hole."
shit.
And my brother was like, "Okay, where did we go with this
Yeah, but
conversation?"
why would,
My brother was horrified, and me and my nephew were
okay, but
laughing.
look, why would you want to do that? Why would
Mhm.
you want to dig? Cody just made this about
Guilt,
himself, okay?
guilt, guilt.
Okay.
That was all guilt and grandstanding and wanting to complete this made up pilgrimage, you know, to show that he was in charge of something. Because when he said at the military thing, his boys were taking over, and he had to tell them, "Stop, back up." I was the first
To
person
hold
to
him, yeah.
hold him. And That's not true. We all know that they threw the baby on top of the mama's chest. But I digress. Whatever. He said that, okay, but did he get anything by telling them to back up? Because at the military funeral, they're only going to release the remains to the person that was signed off on, and
That was
that
Janelle.
was Jeanette. And then he said at one point, one of his brothers has him. And then at another point, he
Family
said a
member.
family member.
Yep. He said a family member. Drea said that they dug the hole for her grandma's, and Dreamsicle said her uncle dug the hole for her dad's grave. I've
It can
never heard of
happen.
that. I've never ever heard of that.
But with a casket, you have to abide by law, and then it depends on the type of casket that you're burying them in. Because metal caskets have to go further down than wooden ones. At least in Barbados. I'm going by Barbados.
Well, I thought it was because
Okay.
let me tell you, when they buried my grandma, well, when they buried my aunt, so
Mhm.
they buried her on top of my grandmother's sister. When I tell you, I saw torn pieces of cloth and stuff, and I was standing there looking. I said, how far down do they go? They said, same 6 feet. Wait a minute, see
Well,
what they told me in Louisiana. They
mhm,
go down 6 feet, it don't matter, but they have to be in the ground for over
mhm,
20 years. So I was looking, I was like,
mhm.
oh hell. I had to start backing up. I said, that's my great grandmother's dress.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the thing is, when you're doing a double grave, you have to know that from the start so that you can dig far enough down with the first deceased
Yep,
person. And then for the second one, it has to be at the minimum for a regular single
yep.
grave. You see what I'm saying? So your great grandmother probably passed away way
Yeah, but
long
I'm
time
telling you,
ago.
I saw a blue, it was tattered, and I'm looking, I'm hitting my cousin next to me,
Hmm.
and I'm pointing, and I'm like, and then we started looking. I was like, okay, but Louisiana, but they have to be in the ground for so long before they can put another body on top. Because I asked, I wanted to know. You know
Hmm.
me, I'm curious. I gotta know. I just have to know.
Even even with the urns, I think my mom has to be settled for, I think she said 3 years. It's in all of the deed and paperwork and all of that. I think she has to be settled for 3 years before anything could be placed on top.
Well, see, all I know but urns is we put them in a wall. Okay, so we don't put them in the ground.
Well, I said, because I don't want to pay anymore, just scratch out a
Girl, be
little dirt and
quiet.
throw me
Okay,
in
let's
there.
move on. You just as crazy. Be quiet. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. See, Louisiana, they're put in a vault, okay, and they're not underground.
Mhm.
Has anybody seen the cemeteries in Louisiana? They bury you above ground
Yeah,
because we're so close.
a
Yeah,
mausoleum.
so they put you in a
Mhm,
concrete
mhm,
vault. Yep, that's
mhm.
what they do in Louisiana. So they don't go into the ground. You're in the vault. You go to any cemetery, you'll see the concrete and everything. So yeah, because we're below sea level, above sea, I forgot how it goes, but they don't go in the ground.
There's a mausoleum where my mom is at for the Abed family, and they're a very prominent family in Barbados, and there's room in there for 12.
Damn.
And they said that when you go in there, there's like chairs and coffee tables and tea sets and stuff like that. And they said inside their vault is super,
Whose
super
vault?
nice. The Abed
Well,
family.
Michael Jackson has his shit cordoned off.
Well, no, only the family can go in there when they're interning someone, but they have it set up very, very nice.
Okay, so we've gone. I think we've talked enough. What about poly family? Because
Oh
this
my God.
This death stuff.
Wait. We gotta go back to
Wait a minute. There's an echo.
Robyn.
There's a bad echo. A bad echo. Hold on. There's a really bad echo. Okay. Okay. Try it now, Debbie.
Okay. Is it me?
It's better. Okay. Go ahead.
Is it me?
So what did you
Say something again,
I
sweet.
don't know.
Is it me with the echo?
No. I think
Okay.
it's gone.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm gonna switch microphones. Oops.
So go ahead, Debbie. Tell us what you wanted to say before we get to polyfamily.
Did you look at what I told you to look at with regards to
Yes,
Robyn?
I did.
What did you
I think
think?
she's a piece of shit. I can't stand looking at Robyn. You know that.
No, but there were things that she said talking about this is when they got
Yeah,
to the
when they got
horse
to the
ranch
ranch, she
thing.
was asking about the 80 acres. She was, yes, she's,
She started saying that this was Cody's
yes.
legacy. Homegirl was up there surveying everything. Mind you, his mom, they say, has dementia. So she was on a real estate tour while he was there pretending to be on a
But
pilgrimage. It was
but
very
she
dirty
did
and
ask
disgusting.
who, because they were talking about who was running, who took over the ranch and how it's been there. So I think she was trying to assess who else has ownership of that property.
Yep. And then I found it very strange that Cody was saying, "Oh, everything is just so familiar, but I would never want to live here." Why would you throw that in unless it was something that y'all was discussing between you and Robyn?
But doesn't Cody he has brothers, so it's not Cody's. He's got other family members.
Correct. And he had other wives and she stole everything from
Well,
them.
that's true.
There you
That's
go.
true. All right, sweets, go with your poly family, girl, because you're in love with the poly family.
Have you been watching it?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I watched last night the last episode. That family's crazy, to be honest with you. There's
So,
something, and it already came out with Sean, but there's some other evil things. Something weird is going on there.
so here's what I want to ask you, sweets. When they were saying, he wanted rights because if the other three kids can be taken at any time, he forgets, he said, because he doesn't want to lose, but you already got 5 other kids that you
Yeah.
want nothing to do with.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the little ones aren't his. It's obvious that they're not his.
Told you, Debbie. I put that picture up.
But he knows that. No, but I said that. I've been saying this on my channel from the time this started. He has an obsession with having children. When he said, "I've been married to Taya for 6 years, but we haven't had any kids, even though we've tried." They come into this situation, and all of a sudden, there's 3 children. I don't think Alicia was supposed to get pregnant. I think it was supposed to be just Taya getting pregnant so that he could break up the quad and take those children, knowing good and goddamn well that they were not his biologically.
And you don't see any chemistry with Sean and the 2 ladies. There's no chemistry there. But all the ladies love the other guy.
Yeah, and do you see how jealous Alicia is of the relationship with Tay and Tyler?
Yes.
Because Taya be doing all the things that Alicia don't want to
do. I think that's right.
I'm not laughing.
That's why she doesn't want to know what they do.
Exactly.
Did you see how surprised she was that Sean, Tyler, and Tay talk about their sex lives?
It's weird. It's just
Again, another thing she's left out of.
I
Yeah,
don't
she's
get
always
it.
complaining that they don't talk to her, they don't share, like they don't like you. Plain and simple.
Nope.
I don't know why she's even there because
Okay,
she's an afterthought, to be honest with you.
but did any
Well, somebody got to
but
work
did anybody notice when the baby had to be changed how quick Tyler went to change the baby and Sean just sat there?
because Sean know that ain't his
But
baby.
he doesn't know if the other two kids are his either. But he's always willing to chip in
Sha-
and help them.
Sean came into this show infertile.
But who wanted to go check his vasectomy? Wasn't it Sean say he had to go check his vasectomy? Aren't we going to see this next
Because
episode?
they said, Taya said, we've decided to our family is complete. So the boys went and got vasectomies while I was pregnant. But on the redut, it's saying that Sean had a vasectomy before with the
Yes.
first set of kids he's got, and he tried to get it reversed. I don't think he tried to get it reversed. He knew he came into this show in blanks, but he wanted kids, and he got these two dodo birds to not only house him and his skank wife, but get children so that he can take them away. And I don't like the relationship that he has with the biggest girl, Raina.
Yeah, I don't like the way there's something going on there that I'm not comfortable with.
Exactly. That's why I say
Mm-hmm.
there's something evil going on there, to be honest with you.
Yep. And the way how Tyler's sister blew up at him after she found out what was going on, and her kids was over there spending the night with Sean. That is
How do you
crazy.
check a vasectomy? What you want to see if they got swimmers or something?
Yeah, they check the swimmers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They make you like squirt in a cup,
Oh,
and then they count.
Yeah, they check the swimmers.
okay. Well, we're going. Oh my God, they checked swimmers. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about this adoption and how they're trying to make sure that if anything happens to Sean and Alicia, that her family doesn't take those kids away?
Because
Notice they only worried about
Tyler
Junior.
knows those kids are his. So that's why he knows that he doesn't get along with Sean and he wants to do it quickly. He wants to establish the paternity, saying these kids are mine. When the relationship breaks up, he gets to keep his kids. That's plain and simple.
Has anybody checked to see if they still together?
No, I haven't.
I don't know.
Because let me see. I don't even know when this was filmed.
I think last year.
Let's see.
Hmm. Damn it. Okay. Last year, I want to know if they're still together
I think so.
because Sean, he looks shifty to me.
Yeah,
Something isn't right with him.
Well, a second season is now in doubt because Sean is upset at all the backlash against him and everything that's come out about him.
Did he think it wouldn't come out?
Well, these four idiots went to an attorney's office who's probably billing by the hour to sit down and talk about third party adoption. And the thing is that that's not what they need. If they had just done a basic Google search, they could have saved everybody's good billable hours, stayed their funky asses at home, and realized what they need to do is prepare wills and set up estates and trustees to look out for your children should you pass. But the only person that's worried about this is Sean because Sean wants to ensure that he gets control of all of these children, which would mean that he's in charge of Tyler's and Alicia's estate. And that's why he doesn't want Alicia talking to her father.
Huh.
wow.
Okay.
This is my Sean knew he came in here shooting blanks and he wants children because he's gotten in trouble with children previously, and that's why he can't keep a job. So he got these two idiots to move him and the slut in.
Oh, damn.
Tyler has put pussy before his children from the beginning. And honestly, I think Sean I don't even think Taya want to be there because Taya want more pussy than Tyler do.
Oh my God.
And so he has groomed Taya from when she was 18, 19. So now she grown up and she realized what she really want, but she has a sense of like, well, I owe him. So she has become the carrier for two of his spawn. Well, it's not really his, it's Tyler's. But he is the daddy by Oregon state law. He's going to blow up the quad and take the two children and then delay getting paternity tests because he's the one that was stressing we don't want to know maternity so that he can get child support for two children that ain't his.
Damn,
And
Debbie, you got
then
this all figured out. What about you, sweets? Look.
Oh, I'm
no, but it's even
slow.
more nefarious because if he can get the other three and something happens to the two numbnuts and he's in charge of their estate, he got it made.
Wow.
Hmm. Okay. So is there anything else happening good there?
No, I'm searching. They have a Reddit subreddit, and I'm checking,
Mhm.
but I don't see anything.
Honestly, I should have wrote this show. It would have been so much more entertaining.
Hi, Ruski. Debbie has all these theories, sweets, and I'll be like, okay. All right. So, what do we think about Taya wanting to bring a woman into that relationship? Do you think that's going to work?
For her, yeah.
Lord, one more person for Alicia to be left out with and jealous of.
Jealous of, yeah.
Oh my God. I forgot today. Oh, okay. So, hmm. What about, I'm trying to think. Okay. What about 1,000 Pound Sisters?
Filler.
Did
I
anybody
like the new
like
season.
Sisters?
I'm
I
liking the new
tried.
season because they're showing how Tammy has changed so much.
How has she changed? I mean, the last two episodes. Hi, George.
Hey,
It's
George.
sweet. It's sweets on panel. Hi, Harlow. So how has Tammy changed?
I think she has changed because she's not as angry anymore. She's not as um she she actually sounds smart compared to previous seasons where she was closed off, she was so angry, and now you can see that she's being brave and she's putting herself out there. I think she has changed, to
I
be
think
honest.
she's changed since she got in this relationship with this woman because now she's able to get out on her own. She has more independence. So, yes, okay, I can see that. But the episode before then, she was nasty. The episode before then, she was nasty. And when I saw her zip lining, I was done.
I want to do that. I think Irish last said she mentioned the place in Kentucky. I want to do that.
I'm not doing now. I zip line on 6th Street. Okay, that was a straight shot. I'm not doing that roller coasters yet. I'm echoing. Am I okay? I'll go out and I'll come back in. Okay, y'all keep going. I'll go. I'm gonna drop myself. Y'all go. Y'all go ahead. I'm gonna drop and come back in.
Mhm.
Hey, Debbie, it's our show now.
I don't know. Heidi on this. I don't see I don't see any redemption or like niceness. Like I just felt she was happy in a few episodes because she was getting a box eaten out. That's about it. I don't
No,
think
but
she's
I think
changed.
she has changed a lot from everything. She was so angry because she was, in she couldn't lose the weight and she wanted the surgery and she wanted this, and then she got married and then nobody accepted it, and
Mhm.
going through the death of her husband. I
But
think
he wasn't really her husband.
yeah. But no, I think the one that drives me insane is Amy, to be honest with you,
She is
because
frustrating.
she is. It's like nobody can pretend to be that dumb. And
And
having a meltdown with those two little boys, it's like every 3 seconds having a meltdown. And those little boys are so cute, but I mean, bathe them, put clothes on, they always look so dirty.
well, she's dirty.
Amy's dirty.
Yes. So every time they show her hands, her nails, oh my goodness,
Yeah, for the engagement, her nails were filthy.
disgusting. Oh my goodness.
Okay, can we talk about everybody not wanting to go to this wedding and how she's, well, first of all, that pool. What the hell? Can we drain that, clean that, get that resealed and put some fresh water in that shit?
Mm-mm.
That pool is disgusting. That is, they should have that damn thing quarantined. I saw algae on the steps.
Yeah,
That
it's
is a
good.
biohazard.
Yeah, that
But
looked
that's
like a rave house, though.
it's they're trying to portray them like they're not even middle class, but barely making it. And they make money off of TLC enough
And
to
they
not
still
to
make
live
money
like
off
that.
of YouTube. They still make money off of YouTube. They still have their YouTube channel. They're making a lot of money.
Oh, they still do videos. I didn't know.
YouTube, they're making money on IG. They're making money on TikTok.
Yeah,
They're
but
not broke.
exactly. And I don't, it's like I don't think they look too good portraying themselves like they live in that squalor, to be honest with you.
But she's upset. Well, wait a minute. When she was saying that Misty, no, not Misty, what's Chris's wife's name again?
Oh,
Misty is the sister, the skinnier one,
Brittany,
Brittany. She can give up. God would forgive her for one day if she came to her wedding. What?
listen, y'all forgetting she only think using 14% of her brain.
Oh, that's right. The doctor did say she was using 14% of her brain. That's embarrassing.
yeah.
That's embarrassing. Hi, Exo. Brittany, that's embarrassing. You're on national TV.
Do you think she gets some type of disability?
She,
Yes.
oh my
Because
She's
lord.
legally blind.
she's legally blind, right? I think she has
Yep.
the same thing that Mama June has, right?
You mean cockeye?
No,
I
she
was
has the same thing I think Mama June has.
I was about to put that picture up with one eye looking one way and the other eye looking the other. I'm sorry. Yeah, but she's legally blind, not blonde, blind. And I'm sorry, but they have to be getting disability. They're overweight, they can't work. So why wouldn't they be getting this clean? Well, no, they can't now because they have to show.
Well, wouldn't the government see that they're making money off this show and they wouldn't approve their disability?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. So they can't do that. Yep, they can't do that. Huh. Okay, so they can't do that. So okay, but they're making money. And the house is always so nasty. I'm
I
waiting to
know.
see roaches crawling on the wall again.
Well, that's because she doesn't clean. You could
Hmm.
be living in a dilapidated house, but if you attempt to keep your surroundings clean and keep yourself clean and keep your children clean, your place will not look like Amy's.
Yeah.
But that place don't know nothing about what is it, Lysol, Fabuloso, bleach, ammonia. Like she needs to put all of them into a bucket of water and just blow up that house and clean.
Could you imagine the bathroom?
Uh-uh.
If the house looks like that, imagine the bathroom.
The
No, I
toilet
don't
must
even want to
be
think about the bathroom. No,
oh,
please don't go there.
uh-uh.
Please don't go there. I don't even want to think about that bathroom because that'll be disgusting. But then again, does she actually take a shower?
No, because she
Well,
always looks
yeah,
dirty and she always got hair on her.
Mm. But what about when he went to court? Now we saw all of that. So Amanda was at the second court case, not the first. Chris was at the first one.
Because Chris went to tell the bail bondsman that he brought that bitch there. Don't take away my money. I brought her to court.
Yeah, because he put up $10,000, right?
Well, 1,000, but because the bond the bail was 10 grand, so you got to put up 10%, right?
Okay, yeah. But some states you have to put the full amount up.
Oh
thankfully,
shit.
I know nothing about that.
Well, I'm just thinking back to Dog the Bounty Hunter days. I miss
Oh
that
yeah.
show.
Okay. Uh, what else was it that was interesting about Sister Wives this week?
Sister Wives.
I mean, 1,000 pound sisters.
Well, that
Um,
the wife now wants gastric bypass surgery too.
Brittany, yeah. For her, diabetes is out of control.
But look at the way she eats.
Well,
She says she drinks 6 full sugar sodas a day.
So
and
don't
then
you think you should cut that shit out?
Exactly. She doesn't need. She's not that overweight
she
to
don't need to
manage.
put she don't need to. She can't. She work at McDonald's. They free.
Well, they sell Diet Dr Pepper and Diet Coke.
Yeah,
Uh-uh.
but that still has sugar in it.
But yeah, I don't. She says she wants that surgery, and she doesn't look that big. I mean, neither did How much was Michelle? How much was the A1C that she had? Oh, it was
Over
10.
10.
So
Mm-hmm.
10, that means that her average blood sugar for the previous 3 months was over 300.
Jesus.
Mm.
7, which they say they want 7, the average of 7 is 180, which is in the pre-diabetic stage, 100 max 180. That's why they would like a 6.5, which is an average of from 120 to 150.
Mm.
Damn.
But yeah, if she would just cut out that soda.
But do we think the surgery with her A1C that high, do we think that'll be good?
No,
A1C,
that's go ahead.
well, for A1C means that it measures the red blood cells carry your the glucose, and every 3 months you regenerate your red blood cells. So that's why it's an average of 3 months. What the A1C does, it measures the glucose levels in your red blood cells. So I don't think if I I don't know, it's having a high A1C but not having other symptoms, they could do the surgery, in my opinion. Non-medical opinion.
Okay, so XO just said something interesting. Amy is jealous that Tammy and Chris are smaller than she is now.
Yeah, because last season she was carrying on that she was the smallest out of her family.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
also Misty didn't need the surgery either. See,
Yes, she
that's
did because they showed
and,
that flashback of her. She was big,
but
not
not
as
Tammy or Amy big or Chris
no, no. But her blood pressure and her sugar were out of control.
because she was smoking because she used to smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
But she's still vaping, but it's not menthol though. It's not menthol, but she's still vaping because she
yeah,
said she takes a non-menthol vape pen with her. So as long as she doesn't have the menthol, but she's got approved for surgery, and now she's gonna go for the surgery. And Amy is having a meltdown. I think she's a little jealous of Tammy, a lot jealous of Tammy right now.
well, we'll see because we haven't seen Tammy recently in her TikToks. All she posts is
Yep,
old stuff because
that's
they said
right.
she had the skin removal. They can make like three people out of her skin
But
because
did you see how they had her marked up, her neck, her face? Can you? So is she getting the arms and the legs done at the
so
same time too?
No.
they were going to do the priority. I think was the stomach and the legs. No, the stomach and the arms.
Okay, what about the face? Because they had her marked up there too.
Yeah, she got a facelift. She got that gobble gobble taken care of. That's what I heard.
I wasn't a gobble gobble.
You know that thing that be sitting, you know, the thing that Angela Deem has that looks like a scrotum? Yeah, that.
I mean, I've lost over 100 pounds, and I don't have that. And I used to have a fat face, and I don't have. I have
Wait a
losing
minute.
other
Sweet.
areas.
You lost sweet. You don't look like I was about to say. Your arms are toned, your face, your neck, everything. We see you on camera when you're cooking.
Yeah,
But
I've lost.
if you incorporate exercise, especially weight training, you'll get the elasticity back in your skin. But theirs is like they were like at least 400 pounds and up. Ain't no
Yeah,
amount of lifting weights gonna help that.
if you look at my previous videos, you see
Hmm.
the difference. And it's just that I don't know. I use a lot of TikTok products. So we have the neck cream from Go
Hmm.
Pure. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness, I use that a lot, and I saw the difference
Hmm.
in the neck with the neck cream from TikTok.
There you
Oh
go,
my
folks. Go
God.
pure. I
I
tried
didn't,
the
I
El
am shocked
Maquillage.
when you just said that.
Yeah, and that's why I am against most if you're morbidly obese, like the show My 600 Pound Life.
Oh,
Yes,
my favorite show that keeps me on the diet. Yes.
I understand, but people that are like 50, 60 pounds overweight, hell, even 100 pounds overweight, why would you ruin yourself for the rest of your life with, and that's my opinion. I know people are going to come at me, but I don't see the reasoning behind having gastric bypass if you have to lose less than 100 pounds. It took me Let me see, about 5 years, but I did it, slowly. Maybe that's the trick, to do it slowly.
If you do it
That's what I'm
slowly,
saying.
it's less of a percentage of you gaining it all back.
But sweet, I would have never known that you were heavier. So now you're gonna make me go back and look at some old videos.
Oh, I don't mind. I'm proud of myself. Yeah, my highest weight was 265 pounds, and now I weigh 158.
Girl, get the hell out of here.
Nice.
And I am 5'8", so I'm tall.
Mm.
Oh my God. You know, Exo Serenity is crazy. She said she likes to eat while watching my 600-pound life. I can't. If I ever feel, I'm serious. I remember when I was still in Houston and we were watching the show, and I was sitting there, and it was doing it was right after, it was during COVID or right after C-19, and I was watching, and I told my grandkids, I said, if I ever get that big, take me outside and shoot me. Just shoot me. And then, so I was just like, I'm sitting there, can't put clothes on, need help to get in the tub, need help to get off the toilet. You remember the woman that broke the toilet and
Oh
they
my,
had to call
yeah,
the ambulance to come get her?
I watch it too. But yeah, I mean, it's like Brittany. She thinks that's an easy fix. She sees her whole family, what they've gone
Yes,
through, and now that they're skinny, she wants just cut off half of my stomach, and I want to be skinny too. They have to understand that for the rest of their lives,
they're going to have to maintain that.
and I've seen how difficult it is to have the proper nutrients when you can only eat less than a cup of food, you
Yep.
know?
But so Tina, Greek mom, Tina started with me when she was still heavy. And then she was going through her weight loss journey. And now she's on this panel where she speaks to people about biometric surgery and everything. Tina is a poster child for following everything they told her to do. She lost damn near 2 people, and she looks so healthy and so young. But she doesn't need to have skin removal because she was doing the diet and the exercise and everything.
Yeah, but Brittany, that's exactly the what I thought too, Michelle, that it's gonna be paid by the show.
It has to be. These people don't have that kind of money.
Well, now I think insurances are, they see that the cost of that surgery outweighs the long term that they would have to pay in medical bills if they don't get the
Mhm.
surgery.
Yep.
Now I remember when they first started doing the weight loss surgery. One of the girls I used to work with at Seaman, she went and had it, and I was surprised. I was like, "You don't need that surgery." You know, she died 2 weeks later from complications from that surgery.
Oh my goodness.
And I
Yeah.
remember saying, "Why are you doing this? You don't need that surgery." And that was, she was explaining everything, and I was like, she died from complications. Hi, Aesop's. She died from complications, and she was like 35, 36.
Wow. So sad. Yeah. I would never get any elective surgery. I would only get medically necessary surgery if I ever have to. It scares me how these people just, okay, I got my nose, I got my boobs, I did this, I did that, like Stacy and Darcy,
Oh my
that they
God.
get women now.
Yes. I can't. They look like, I keep showing y'all, they look like Madame the Puppet. I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Yes,
That's
they
who
do.
they look like.
Yeah, I could never. That's something that scares me.
I
But
just,
I can't
look,
wait. I mean, really.
I was looking for the puppet again, but they look horrible. And they think they look good. And now Dorsey's, one of her daughters, started having plastic surgery at a young age.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I just can't. I just can't. Okay, what else? But Brittany is talking more. And they were laughing about the engagement. So what do you think about Brian and Amy's engagement?
The guy's a creeper. He gives me creeper vibes.
Exactly. I thought it was just me. He's
Well,
creepy.
wasn't he tweaking out right after he proposed to her?
He was tweaking. Wait a minute. What do you mean he was tweaking out?
Remember when they came out of the House of Horrors and they were sitting on like a railing or something?
Yeah.
Did y'all see how he was like looking everywhere like Stevie Wonder?
Yes. Okay. That's okay. Yes. Yes. Well, wait a
I
The
minute.
thought,
Stevie Wonder can't see now, but okay. Go ahead.
right, he could
Allegedly.
see. He was looking everywhere except at the people who was talking to him. It was very weird, like he was on something coming down.
Okay. My thing is now I've been proposed to in 3 months, 2 months. But why does he want to marry Amy so bad? Is it because of those two little boys?
I think so.
Mm, mm. Yeah. Something's wrong with him, and something because he's supposed to be a news reporter, really, or a news anchor, whatever. Right.
I don't know.
And you're interested in Amy, who one eye looks at you, the other eye looking the other way. And she's not clean. This woman is not clean.
Not at all. Not at all.
So does that mean he's dirty too?
Well, if he stays with her like that, yeah.
She doesn't even brush her teeth. Do you see her teeth?
Yes. Oh my
I'm
god.
serious. She's nasty.
Oh my god, that cooking episode that she did. Oh, it was
That
horrible.
chocolate shrimp Alfredo. I'm serious. Her teeth are disgustingly nasty. Jesus. Okay. Anything else about the nasty people we want to discuss before we move to the Love Hotel?
No, just that she always complains that she can't handle those two little boys, but she's always going out without them, you
Yep.
know?
And then she wants to have another baby. She wants to have her tubes untied.
Just crazy.
Does that make sense to you?
I it she's a mess, really, because she can't even take care of two little boys that and those kids are wild. It's beyond.
And aren't they still wearing diapers?
And they're like
Mhm,
3 and 2, right?
Yep.
mhm.
They're still wearing diapers.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
what do you think about Amanda? Wait a minute. What do you think about Amanda actually finding her own place?
It's about time because she has done I used to watch her TikTok lives because she lives on TikTok too.
Yep.
But she hasn't done them in a while either because the
She's sick.
rumors are that she's sick. Yeah.
Yep, she's sick. But what do you okay, here's my question that I asked Debbie. What do you think her grown ass sons were when she was down there in Florida with that guy?
Weren't they living in the old house when she threw Tammy out? Weren't weren't they living in the house?
Don't know. Debbie's idea was they moved to Florida and that's why that guy and her broke up. But why did they have to come move to Amy's house when they should have had some place to be?
And they're big boys. They're what? In their 20s, right?
Yep.
Mhm. But Tammy's house, before what's she name left to Florida, that she got evicted from, I heard that that was Amanda's ex-husband house, and that's why Tammy had to get out.
I thought
Um,
Tammy got off because Amanda told her, and I don't want you in my house either.
well, Amanda still think that house is hers. But I think that I heard that the ex husband, that was his house, and it was going up for sale anyway. With regards to Amanda living with Amy upon her return from Florida, I honestly think she only filmed there.
Huh. So you think she was living? Because when she used to come on TikTok a lot, she was back with another black guy, and his mom was there all the time.
That's probably her manager, right? That's the new boyfriend.
I don't know if they're still together because she looks really bad. Her head is huge, and her body, her neck is so thin. She looks bad.
But she's always in the hospital with like heart problem. Is it heart problems or is it her pressure? Something's always elevated on her, and no one can figure out what's wrong with her.
Hmm.
She's always in the hospital.
I don't know. I really, really don't know. But something is wrong with her. Did you guys hear that Amanda's son had a baby with the lady that's 35 and she looks older than Amanda? Hell no, I didn't hear that. Sweets, did you hear that?
I saw her baby, but I didn't know who the mom was. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, because she was on there like saying she's a grandma. And
Now,
she was
is Amanda's son gay or is it Misty's son that's gay?
Amanda said one of her sons is gay.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But where is Tammy's girlfriend now that she's introduced her to mommy? She hasn't been on the show the last this last episode.
She's
Well,
at
we'll
the
see
gym
because
working out.
let's see if when the next episode is that she's going, because it's not in Kentucky where she's gonna have the
No, she's
surgery.
going to Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yes. So we'll
Oh,
see.
damn. EXO, I'm going to follow their subreddit. Okay. Because I follow Sister Wives and the Housewives, so I'm going to have to follow that as well. Okay, so Amanda's son is. Okay, one of Amanda's four boys is gay. Okay, I couldn't remember which one. Does Misty have kids?
I
I
think so.
think
I'm
so.
not sure.
Yeah, but she's never brought him on here.
So we've only seen Chris's daughter once, and we've seen
Mhm.
his son when Chris went to the hospital. His son is
Mhm.
good looking. So we saw them. And then the mama, their mother, is huge. So I
So
think obesity runs in their family.
my question is, they're all from the same mom, or they have different moms and same dad? How
Nope.
does it work?
All from the same mom, but different dads.
Okay.
Tammy and Amy have the same dad.
Okay.
They're all from the same mom. Okay, they don't film. Hi, Kay. How are you? Okay, so anything else about them that we want to discuss besides them being nasty and dirty?
No.
I want
The
to see Misty choke someone out.
Who do you want to see her choke out?
Amy, and
Well,
then Tammy, and then Amanda, and that's it.
oh, look what George said. He said, yes, Chris's son is the pearl in that family. He just needs his teeth fixed. He is a good
Oh,
looking young man.
Yeah.
He really is. I was shocked when I saw him. I said, and he's skinny too, because everybody else is fat as shit. Now, was everybody surprised when Brittany was talking about when Chris proposed to her?
That they didn't remember.
Mm-hmm. But he
Yeah,
said it was in the kitchen.
yeah, they were living together, and it just happened. She doesn't remember, which is kind
So,
of sad.
guys, that's Sweets and Beyond's channel. If you don't follow her, please follow Sweets. She has a cooking channel and she makes all kinds of easy to follow recipes. and she does a lot of Puerto Rican cooking. Please hit her up on her channel. Go check out her recipes. I'm telling you, they're easy. I'm glad to see you, Kay.
I've never watched
RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Can I just tell you about RuPaul? So when I was in Vegas, we went to the RuPaul show, right? And one of the ones that just died, I forgot the name, they were there when we went to see them. That show is so boring. It's overpriced. If you want to go see a good drag show in Vegas, it's at the Flamingo. I mean, at Treasure Island. RuPaul is overrated. I am so serious. The seating is horrible, even though you pay for VIP. The seating is horrible. I will never pay for another RuPaul show again, ever, ever. It's not worth it, not at all. So, but okay, I'll watch it on TV. I'll watch it on TV, but I wouldn't recommend paying going to that show at all. It's not worth it. It's horrible. So, anyway, Love Hotel. Can I just say I'm sick of Shannon Bedore?
she got a new dog.
She has a new dog.
What happened to
Yeah.
Archie?
No, he's still there, but she got another dog from a golden retriever rescue.
Can we say we're tired of Shannon Bedore with her crying and her dramatic, and the way she said that man spoke to her was not correct? That's not how he talked to her at all. No, RuPaul is not at the Flamingo. RuPaul is at further down the strip. What's the name of the hotel? Not the Flamingo. The Flamingo is closer to the Venetian. Not the Flamingo. I can't think of the name of where he's at. It's before the MGM casino. That's where RuPaul is at. No, he's not at the Flamingo. I was saying if you want to see a good drag show, I accidentally said the Flamingo, but I meant Treasure Island. Oh, you did? Okay. Go ahead, guys. I'm listening about the Love Hotel.
I don't know. It's going too fast. I don't know. I'm watching it to watch it, to be honest with you.
See, I'm confused. Why is Ashley going for Phil now? She said she needed to start dating men her age, and she knew Phil was interested in in Garcelle. Not Garcelle. Oh, Giselle. Oh my God, he does have a baby. He is 20, in his 20s, and she's 37. Oh my God. Okay. I got it. What did you say, Sweets?
No, I'm putting pasta. I'm trying a new pasta cooker in the microwave.
Okay, let me show you how this woman looks. Okay. Hold on. Let me show you. There she is.
Who's that?
That's Amanda's grandchild's mother and her son.
Oh, okay.
She looks old as shit.
Wait, the one in the brown shirt?
Yes.
The fuck? Oh, I thought that was Grammy.
Was Shannon drinking? Wasn't Shannon having drinks when she was at the hotel? Because she was like, oh, that's overpour.
Oh.
Yeah, she's been drinking. Remember, she doesn't have a drinking problem.
Okay, can you explain to me why did she think this guy owed her anything? Because it's been a year since she got a DUI and took a picture of her face all bloody, and she doesn't remember taking it. Why would you show strange men these pictures?
Like, look at my issues. I documented them.
Ah,
Yeah, weird. That was weird. Why would you show everybody such a painful part of your past that you created?
and
Is not
you don't know these people.
exactly.
And Ashley is showing what kind of hoe she really is. She's a hoe.
To me, Ashley, what she's doing is she knows she's the youngest, she's the prettiest. She wants the show. She thinks it's her show because since she's the youngest and the prettiest, all the men are going to gravitate towards her, and that's why she's kissing everybody.
So let me tell you who I want on the show. I want the guy named Philip. I think he's like 63. He has the house in Los Angeles, the gated community with the double R in the garage. And he has the house. In the, I want him. And that's the one that Giselle said she wants to get to know him better.
No, she's not after money. No, she's there for love.
Girl, she's after money.
She's there for love, Heidi. Doesn't matter
she
the double R. It doesn't matter that, it she took a couple of points off because he didn't have a four-wheeler. But
But he had a double R, and she said, "What's a double R?" He says Rolls Royce. I'm like, really, Janelle? I mean, really, Giselle? You got to ask, what's a double R?
He could
mm,
have been talking about a railroad. You gotta specify when you're talking to me.
And why is everybody after Ralph? Why is everybody after Ralph?
Because they broke bitches.
They're
I don't
bro-
know. It's weird. The show, I don't like how they did it, to be honest. I don't like it. I don't like it. Um they should have brought in way more people. I mean, that show with the moms and the sons, and that was scripted
milf,
better than,
milf,
yes.
milf.
I like how
Mhm.
they did that show, but I'm not liking this one.
It's not making sense to me how Shannon can get so attached to some guy she doesn't know so fast, and you're crying.
Because that's
Well,
Shannon.
rumor has it that something happened, and I think they almost kicked her out.
Well, maybe she got drunk, but that guy only told her that she's always criticizing, and that's her.
Yeah, that's her personality. That's.
Hmm. Debbie, what do you think about Love Island?
I only watched I think the first episode. Luann has gone back to being her old slutbag self. Um, I don't think Ashley is attracted to anybody on here unless they're old and white and bald.
And that's why she went after Ralph.
But that young fella wants her.
Quali,
Kwame,
Quali, Wally, whatever
Quali,
his name is.
yeah, whatever his name. He wants her, but he's delusional. Because he wants babies, but I don't think she want any more babies unless it's a cash payout. Um, there's nobody black and ugly enough on here to lie to her constantly um, for her to fall in love. Sorry. So she was a waste of time coming on here too.
So, do you think the show would have been better if they brought Sonia Morgan on?
Sonia with Luann would have been good because it would have been two sluts out the gate and they would have been fighting over dick. Um, who could they have brought? You know who they should have brought on? One of the women from Dallas, Real Housewives of Dallas. Bring on one of them sluts And then to round it off, if Marisol from Miami was not married, I would have brought her on. But we don't know if her marriage is
My
legitimate
goodness,
anyway.
Adriana, they should have brought Adriana from The Real Housewives of Miami. She's single. They
Oh
would.
yes. Her and
Ooh.
Marisol would have been good.
Oh my goodness. Because I'm so excited for The Real Housewives of Miami because Adriana did, I think she's my top villain, to be honest with you.
She
Huh.
impresses me. She really does. Her and Marisol are really good friends of. Um, they got the assignment.
Okay. Well, all I know is I'm not really sweets. I don't know about you, but this love hotel for me, it's just not making sense right now.
Me neither. For me, it isn't either. It's going too fast. I don't understand the dates, the keys, I don't get it.
And the other four guys that they brought in the other night, I'm trying to say, are they trying to do another MILF except for it's not MILF? You know, doesn't make any sense because if you're trying to meet somebody that you click with, why would you keep? I don't know. It's not making sense to me.
No, it's not.
I have no. Yeah. Okay.
It was poorly done. Poorly done.
Yeah. So I'm going to see, but I want. Let's talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta real quick because this is what the breakdown of this relationship. Sweets. What do you have to say about that? About Portia and Shamia?
Well, I think that Portia is jealous that Shamia is stealing her light. That's the bottom line.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. She's not important anymore. She doesn't have the big bucks anymore. She has the hot dog king as an ex. It's like, you know, it looks,
But what do
it,
we think about the fact that Ralph said, well, not Ralph, the hot dog king told Portia in a text that he told Drew he doesn't want her ass, just run him his money. What do you think?
For the first time, I believe Drew when she told Carlos King, "I got a type. I like biceps, not bellies." I
But do
believe
we
her.
believe Ralph when he said that he didn't cheat on
No.
Mm.
Drew?
And I think he was very angry in the past seasons when she would question him. What was he doing in Tampa? I
Yep.
don't think he was going to female strip clubs.
He's going to the male strip clubs.
I
Uh,
think Ralph, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I do
that's why
believe
he's
so.
so angry. He's another closeted one that needs to be
Hmm.
freed. Free yourself, be your true self.
And I've been saying that since I first saw when they first joined the show. But Ralph said he filed for divorce, like I told you, on Anne's panel, because she had an affair with Tay. And you remember that season when that's after they filmed, she was always with Tay, the basketball player. They were always out traveling together.
Hmm.
She slept with that woman.
She
So
says
Ralph
she
is saying
didn't.
he can be with men, but she can't be with women. Allegedly. Let's just say allegedly.
Yeah, I
Now,
don't
what
know
about
Hmm.
that lady, that basketball lady.
Tay? I'm going to send you a picture of Tay. Um, what about the fact when the mother was telling Drew that her kids were out of control, and Drew says that she didn't even notice it?
They are out of control.
But how don't you notice your kids are not listening?
Because she spent 3,000 hours on the phone with Tay, like how they said on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Oh, Debbie, you have a
Hmm.
bad echo.
I'm hearing the echo with you as well.
Yeah, you had a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now it's gone. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you're good. But she did 3,000 hours?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. So what do we think about this whole Portia and Shamia? I mean, I understand what Sweets was saying about the jealousy. And I think Portia is a little jealous because now we see Shamia is just not a sidekick. She's got wealth. She doesn't even have an address. It just says Sterling Hall. We get to see into Shamia's life. But Shamia was talking to her and saying she wants the Portia that's not on the show. She wants that real Portia. What do you think about that?
Well, Bravo got to pay Portia more. Ain't that what
Sweets,
Portia
what do you
said?
think? Is Sweets there? She's not muted.
Think I'm the one that's echoing, but I think that Portia has no storyline because the ex won't film. She can't talk about it. There's nothing. What is she gonna keep on with the sheets and the lingerie and the hair?
Yeah,
She has
but
no.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She has nothing.
Do you know Simon is still in ICE custody?
Still,
Yep.
Yeah, but the judge in the divorce case ordered that ICE bring him to the courtroom to get the hearing done. So they're making arrangements to bring him to the courtroom.
But she has nothing. She can't film. So Debbie and I were talking earlier about Portia's mother, okay? When she told Portia to beware of the person that brings with a bone carrier. Here is my thing. Portia took it, I guess, like Shamia. I would look at Angela because she's the one that went back and told Portia everything that Shamia had to say, which she didn't really say anything bad except for she was hurt by Portia not attending her wedding. So Angela is the one that's causing all of these issues, in my opinion. And Kelly, that's my opinion. Angela and Kelly are causing these issues. Why would you want to break up that friendship that they've had since high school? Why?
again, it's the storyline. They are boring. They want to fight. They're creating all this just to be on the show.
But Sweets, have you ever, since they've been on, heard anybody talk about, you're doing it for the show? We've never heard them actually reference the show, except for Portia talking to Dennis about filming with Drew. Now we hear Shamia saying that it's all about the show. We've never heard so much about the show before. Now, I think Shamia is genuinely hurt. But when Shamia got married, they weren't filming when she went to Kenya, wherever, when she got married, they weren't filming. But Portia was in her wedding in Atlanta. And she said when she did the other wedding, oh, I forgot something I want to bring up about the Thousand Pound Sisters too. When she did her other wedding, they weren't talking.
No, they were talking.
So
They
why would
were
she
talking.
expect her to be at her wedding?
She was supposed to go to the wedding in Africa, but she's saying that there was no seats on the plane. Candy
But she
Burris
said
outed
on the
her and said
episode
there
they weren't even
was.
talking.
She's lying. They were talking. She was supposed to be at the wedding in Africa, but she didn't want to pay the money for the airfare.
Who did
If a
she think
man,
was going to pay it? Bravo?
that girl don't do nothing unless it's paid for.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I'm feeling the Housewives of Atlanta at all.
Yeah,
I
but
don't watching it just to watch it, to be honest, just like Love Hotel. it's not interesting to me. This the fights are the only good one was the Kenya one, but it's like they're fighting. Oh, don't talk to me. Oh, you didn't talk to me. I told this person this. Why aren't you being my friend? Like, get some more material. Do something bigger.
So, what did you think about Charles Oakley talking to Angela? He basically told her to kick her family to the curb like he did with his.
Damn Skippy.
But her mom has bought another home with the sister. What, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Bought or rent.
She said bought. They signed the paperwork.
Could have been a rental.
Okay. I don't know. That sounds weird. Angela said that you gave your mom a 640,000. Well, her mom said you just bought a $640,000 house, but Angela and gave her mom and her sister this house to live in. Why would you want to move out? I mean, is it because of Charles? Is it because of Angela? Is it because of Angela's daughter, who we find out is gay and married to a woman? Why?
Oh.
So I'm not understanding that. She had a home that she doesn't have to pay for. Why would you go in and get another home?
Because maybe there was stipulations to her living in a house that belonged to either Angela or Charles. Maybe they
Now
were
Debbie
saying
was
upkeep the house, and she
now,
wasn't.
now Debbie was telling me, and I didn't realize that Shamia mom and Portia's mom had a falling out when they were younger, but the girls still remain friends.
Did you listen to the House of Aaron to find out what the fallout was?
No.
Okay, so back in the day, um, both Miss Diane and Mrs. Morton were in the daycare center business, right? Miss
Okay.
Diane had about three or four of them, and Mrs. Morton, she had a bunch of them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I think, what was it that happened? Something happened, a downturn in the economy or something like that. And a lot of people were losing their jobs, and therefore, child care centers, daycare centers were, not as much as in demand. Okay, so Miss Diane had a daycare center in this particular place. It seems like she was renting the space. She was hoping, like she was like, okay, this particular daycare isn't doing that well. She was then hoping that it was going to go into foreclosure. I don't know if she was planning to do bankruptcy or whatever, but all of this she was confiding to into her best friend, Mrs. Morton. Mrs. Morton ain't saying nothing. Well, lo and behold, the damn building goes into foreclosure. And who swoops in and buys it from the bank? Mrs. Morton.
Oh.
And from then, Miss Diane was like, you my mortal enemy. I was confiding in you. And look what you did. But if Miss Diane had said, I hope it falls into foreclosure so I can swoop in and buy it so that I don't have to pay rent anymore, that would have been a different thing.
I didn't
But
know
she,
that.
yeah, that's the beginning of the argument, because House of Aaron said his mama used to be into daycare centers too, and she heard about that from back in the day.
Ah.
So
Sweets,
it's
did you
all
know
over
that?
daycare centers.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So when Miss Diane says the apple don't fall far from the tree, I think Shamia is a damn good friend to Portia.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a damn good friend to Portia, but Portia took their conversation as Shamia attacking her, and I don't think she was receptive at all to listen to what Shamia had to say.
That's because her brain also works at 14%.
Well, of course, because there's an underground railroad, and she wanted to know where was the opening.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know all of that, but
No.
and then when Shamia was talking to her, did you see how she moved those forks and stuff and clanked them on the table like she doesn't want to hear shit she has to say?
I think she was doing that as like a signal to Shamia, shut up, don't bring our personal shit on here.
You think so?
She did not want to be in that conversation.
Okay. What do you think, Sweets?
I haven't watched that episode yet.
Yeah, it's the last one they just did.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh
Telling you, I'm
my.
to it.
Okay. Well, the last two episodes, I'm telling you, were really good. And Phaedra's on there next week. And Debbie says that she doesn't think it's going to make a difference.
Wait, what did I say? He doesn't make a difference. What?
You said it's not going to make a difference because Phaedra didn't do anything for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Housewives of Dubai, nor did she do anything for Married to Medicine.
It just says that these are the last three episodes that of the season, and then we go into the reunion. That's all Phaedra coming back to this show means.
So you don't think that Phaedra is going to bring some type of excitement at all?
Nope. Nope.
What do you
Unless we
think,
see the
Steve?
real Phaedra, it's not going to be good.
All I know is when Amy said she wants to travel all 50 states and Hawaii, did she not realize that Hawaii is the 50th state?
Shh. No, don't tell
Mm-mm. So, Sweet, what parts of the Real Housewives of Atlanta aren't you liking right now? Is Sweet there?
her. No.
Okay, so Debbie,
Mm-hmm.
these last two episodes, what? Uh oh, she lost internet. Debbie,
Oh.
these last two episodes of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, don't you think that they've brought some substance to the show, at least a little bit?
No. I think the only one that's mildly entertaining is Angela.
Angela.
And I like Kelly a little bit, but it seems like she's fading into the background. I think I lost my interest when they did not let go Brit.
Okay, because they let go Kenya.
It was two people in that incident. Not well, there was a start of it and then the end to it, and both of them was dead wrong. So if you're going to get rid of one, you get rid of the other as well.
But Britt isn't bringing anything to the show.
No.
I can't stand her little nasally voice. I can't do it. And why is she moving her mother in again? Because they want to
Um,
have a baby in the future?
yes, but he's not that interested in her. So who is she having a baby with?
So what did you think about him meeting with her sister?
Britt's husband met with her sister for why?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really pay attention when she's on the screen, to be honest. Didn't she go to a wedding this episode, this last episode?
She was, it was the episode, well, I don't shit. They all running together now.
Mm,
But we still don't know what he does for a living.
and we'll never know. I think he's living off of her, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
She said she met him as a client.
Okay. What kind of client?
As Angela said, girl, you a hoe. Look at all the wrinkles around your mouth.
No, she said stretch marks. I fell out. You got miles on that mouth.
Okay, did we believe that Charles Oakley doesn't have an outside child?
Not, I don't think he has one while he's been married to Angela.
But she admitted that they went their separate ways for a little bit because he was having affairs because he had to prove that he was still. What happened at Madison Square Garden? She said after the incident at Madison Square Garden.
He got into it with security and they started jostling and had to toss his ass out because I think he was trying to come through an entryway that is reserved for just the players or something like that.
Okay.
And I remember when it happened, but as a result of the ruckus, he was banned from Madison Square Garden
I
for
remember
life
he
or
was banned,
something.
but I didn't know why.
Yeah, I think he was trying to come through a player entrance. And he said he'd been coming through there for years. And then all of a sudden, this one night, they decided to give him grief about it. And he spoke up and they were like, no. And he felt like the he felt some particular person was behind it. Can't remember. It happened so long ago though.
So that meant that he had to sleep with other women to make himself feel relevant again.
He's an Aquarius. I think
Okay.
that explains a lot.
Okay. But I don't think he cares too much for Angela at all.
I think he does care for her, but he's not very demonstrative of it. Again, he's an Aquarius.
Well, I'm an Aquarius too. Shit.
Yeah, but men Aquarius are different from women Aquarius. And I am not very demonstrative.
But Debbie, I'm the same way.
There you go. That's why I like Charles.
I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think we have shit. I think we hit every show.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you doing tomorrow, Debbie? I know you're off.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, I don't know. I gotta see what I feel like when I wake up. Because just going to the hairdresser today was, ugh.
It was taxing, wasn't it? Because you're used to being relaxed on a Sunday.
Well, no, it was hot. It was like in the 90s today. Like, I can't believe the weather's back like this again. Oh my God.
Do you
It was
want to
just
know what the
hot.
temperature is here today?
What is it?
Alexa, what's the temperature? I know the breeze is blowing. I have the windows open.
Right now, it's 86 degrees.
It's 86 and it feels like 60, she says.
Oh my God.
I can get your day started with motivational quotes and more.
Hmm.
Would you like to enable this routine?
And the only reason it says the sun is shining, but the breeze is blowing all through the windows.
Mm,
So, anyway,
Monday.
I had fun. I had fun with sweets. Anything else you want to talk about, baby?
Uh-uh.
I
I'm
know you're
just
going to
getting
bed.
ready tonight. No, I gotta get ready tonight for Sister Wives. I want to get ready for that because
I'm going to watch
I
that
will be
tomorrow
anxious.
morning
Mm,
on Max. That way I can rewind.
mm-mm. Of course you didn't know that he was a
What?
state.
What?
No, I'm reading what Wendy wrote. Mm-mm.
When she said that, I went, wait a minute. Hawaii is a state. I said, as a matter of fact, it's the 50th state. I think it became the 50th state in, when did they vote on it? 59? I forgot. But it's the 50th state.
Child.
It used to be a territory like Puerto Rico. But,
Honestly, they should. They. I'm so sad that this family has procreated. Oh God.
well, at least it's not like the Whitakers, girl.
Mm-mm. too much.
So it's not like the Whitakers at all. So that's good. All right. Whew. Tell her, Gwen, it's cool out. It's 97 here. Damn.
Oh my God,
Damn.
Gwen. Oh, don't go outside.
97? We won't get 97 till like later July, beginning of August, and then it'll cool right back down again. But it's always cool here. The sun is the only damn thing that's hot, but there's always a breeze. Damn. Debbie, you better not be complaining about how hot it is in Florida. But it's sticky in Florida, though. Y'all humidity. Damn.
Well, look, the sun
Arizona
was
doesn't have
out.
humidity. It's dry as hell. Does it rain in look, has it rained in Arizona lately?
I'm sure
We
it
had rain
has.
all last week.
When I went to Arizona last month, was it last month? Yeah, it was nice and green, so I'm sure that they have rain.
Debbie, Drea
Yeah.
said it was 105 on Friday.
Oh, good Lord. Stop it. All right, I'm not going to complain no more. I'm a vampire. I've officially realized that I am a vampire. I don't like the sunlight. I don't like the heat. So forgive me.
I have. Oh, okay. I am. Ooh, Jesus. 100. See, that's that Texas shit. Arizona. Nope. It says, Andrea said, nope, it hasn't rained in Arizona lately.
Oh, jeez.
Damn. We had rain. I told you it rains like when springtime hits,
And Scott
and then it'll
said they
rain
waste water
maybe
on grass.
a couple of times. But we always get rain during the winter months when it's snowing, so shit can get icy and slick.
Oh my God, Drea. Drea, you a mess. Actually, the one outdoor, wait, we had three outdoor events. One of them was on AstroTurf, which was that was a cooker. That was a pressure cooker. I don't know why we were out there between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. in that hot sun on AstroTurf next to a body of water. It was like I feel like my company is trying to kill me because I came back with a severe um like I thought it was a rash, but I think it was more of a burn because there was citric acid in the hotel's lotion,
Huh?
and I went out in the sun on
Citric
between.
acid?
Yes, and it can cause burns. I broke out in this red stuff all on my forearms, which were exposed. And I'm not used to the sun. I had to go to the dermatologist and get sorted out.
Girl, are you serious?
Yep, for 3 weeks I was rubbing cream on my forearms where the red marks were, morning and evening. And they finally receded. My arms look nice. But for, like 2, 3 weeks, could not wear short sleeve shirts because like it looked weird. I was just like this big blobs of redness all over my forearms.
Oh,
And my
Debbie, that's
dermatologist
bad.
said, yep. So be careful because citric acid in lotions and you go outside in the sun, it'll burn you. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yep. But it caused me to go to the dermatologist, which made me get a full body scan for all my moles, and I had to have one removed. So
But
everything
why
happens for
would
a
they have
reason.
citric acid in lotion, Debbie?
I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
See, at first I thought it was like heat rash,
Mm-hmm.
but it never got the little bumps. The heat rash, you get those little bumps and they itch, and then like I get them infected because I keep itching them. And it wasn't that. They never raised up in bumps. It was like red splotches all over me. Like, and I had three that were like in dots. And at first, I thought it was ringworm or something like that. But again, it just looked like red blotches all over my forearms. So they asked, oh my God.
Yeah, Debbie, why didn't you sue them?
Because I suspect it happened at a property for where I work.
Okay,
So,
but if they've
yeah.
got citric acid and you're allergic, why wouldn't you sue them?
It wasn't that I was allergic. What happens is that the citric acid reacts to the sunlight and it burns you.
Oh, okay,
Hmm.
okay. Well, I'll be damned.
What
Okay.
lotion was that? I can't say. But it was a very expensive lotion and it smelled so beautiful. I actually stole some. It was so nice. And I was planning on buying some, which you can buy for $60
So
a
you stole
bottle.
the citric acid that gave you a rash.
I didn't know that until I went to the dermatologist. Yes, it
Oh,
was so good.
did you hear that Trump wanted to ban foreign students from Harvard and that a judge blocked him from doing that?
He can't do that.
Well,
He can't
he
do
thought he
that.
could. He put an executive order in, and the judge just says, fuck that. And they blocked that.
Maybe once I leave my job, I'll talk about it. Where were you at so I can go and use the lotion and sue they ass?
I told you that time I stayed at the hotel and they actually had fleas and they were eating up my leg. And I went down and I showed them. They moved me out of that room because they were allowing dogs there, but Kayla and
Oh my
Justin didn't get
God.
bit. And then Nate, we were in Alabama. They moved me to a whole new section and didn't charge me for anything. And then Nate said, "Wait a minute, I had to go in there and help her get her stuff out." This nigga just looked at Nathan. He was like, I deserve some kind of compensation too.
Oh
So
my
I was like,
God.
damn. But yeah, that happened to me. And then they asked me not to say anything. And it was a hotel on base.
Good Lord.
So yeah, but you should have put in a complaint, Debbie. Don't matter if that's the property.
Mm-mm.
But
Child, my
okay,
job trying to kill me. My job trying to kill me. I'm telling y'all that.
okay. Well, we'll see. But okay, that's about think that's about it. What I wanted to ask you too,
Mhm.
um, I was going to ask you if you're going to start watching the new show, um, on um on TLC with Rob and all of them,
Who?
Rob and all of those guys.
Oh, I'm gonna check out that show. Um, just to see, like, I don't know how much I could take it in. Oh my God. Because the lineup doesn't really look that appealing to me. Like, Chantal's gonna be like, here's the thing. The only person I would look to watching that would be what he name? Usman. Not
Usman,
Usher. Oh my
yes.
God. Mm-mm. That one
Um,
got rejected from her.
so I wanted to. Somebody asked me about Amber from Love After Lockup. I didn't see anything posted on her aunt's page about how she's doing. So I said I was gonna reach out to what's her face because I follow her on Facebook to the one that's married. Oh God, I gotta go find it. But I was gonna send her a message to see if there's any update on Amber's situation because her aunt hasn't posted anything at all lately. because they said that she had
Mm.
opened her eyes, and I didn't see that posted on her aunt's thing, but it's not saying that anything about her condition at all. So we're gonna have to see.
Didn't
But
it say that she woke up though?
yeah, somebody said she had opened her eyes. But when I went to look at uh Amber's Instagram page, her name is Amber Eggers, her
Mm-hmm.
page isn't there.
No.
Let me go back and try to look again. I'm telling you, it told me that page did not exist. Hold on, let me go back. And then I was looking for her page on Facebook. And so maybe they took it down, but I have her aunt's Facebook thing. So, but I didn't see anything on her aunt's. Um, Hold on. Let me go look again. Amber, Eggers. Amber Eggers. Love After Lockup. Okay, but her other page isn't there. The one with just her name. Her Love After Lockup page is still there.
Mm.
And they were doing a fundraiser for her, and that was 6 hours ago. So on her Love After Lockup page, there's a there's a fundraiser on that page. So that's about it on that one. But I don't see anything else. But her personal page is not there. So I'll have to go to her aunt's page again. And they're talking about how the TV show, how TLC is not donating to her critical care fund. Um, so yep. So I think they raised about 6,000. Hold on, let me see how much. It was either 6 or 7, but I'll go back and look. So yeah, I don't see anything else about her. Linda Mahone wrote a letter to Harvard and went in on the red pen. Oh my God. Oh, so it starts tomorrow. Okay. Barron got rejected. That's why?
Well, Trump did too, didn't he? That's why he wound up at Penn State. Not Penn
Hold
State.
on. Let me look. Um, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Just- Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. You're the president of the United States. Your son doesn't get into Harvard, and you want to tell them that they can't have foreign students? Are you kidding me? And you got more shit than that to handle? Okay, let's listen to this stupid shit. I actually read that.
Well, a federal judge is stepping into President Trump's battle with Harvard University, blocking the administration's plan to stop Harvard from enrolling foreign students. Meanwhile, the president has launched a tariff threat against another American institution, Apple. Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
President Trump touched down in New Jersey late Friday as he prepares to deliver the commencement address at West Point Saturday morning. But his battle with another institution of higher learning, Harvard, has been dealt a setback. America's oldest university sued the government over a plan to bar it from enrolling foreign students, saying it would have a, quote, immediate and devastating effect for Harvard and more than 7,000 visa holders. They also claim the order violates the First Amendment.
I think somebody has to stand up against the bully and raise a flag, and it should not be a white flag of surrender, and Harvard is not.
The administration accuses the university of allowing, quote, anti-American, pro-terrorist agitators to assault Jewish students, creating an unsafe campus environment.
This country is paying billions and billions of dollars and then gives student loans, and they have to pay back the loans. So Harvard's going to have to change its ways.
On Friday, the president also put...
Why is he just picking? And it makes sense why he's picking on Harvard, because a lot of prestigious universities. Are you stupid?
Apple in the crosshairs, using an early morning social media post to say if the company doesn't start making iPhones in the U.S., he'll impose a 25% tariff. It could dramatically raise the cost of iPhones like the one that went off on the president's desk.
It's a phone call. Do you mind?
In the Oval Office, the president said other
He's got an iPhone. Does he really have a gazillion dollars, though? Does he really?
Why is he wasting
companies
our
could face
good taxpayer money doing this? Can he figure out what the president's supposed to be doing and actually do that?
No, he's pissed. Because I was like, wait a minute. Why is he going after Harvard? I said, what about Brown? Now it makes sense because Barron was turned down. Oh my God.
face tariffs too.
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair.
Apple had already promised to invest $500 billion in new U.S. plants and workers over the next 4 years.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
President Trump is also threatening a new 50% tariff on the European Union beginning June 1st, saying there's been a breakdown in trade negotiations. If that happens, it would mean imports from Europe would be taxed at a higher rate than those from China. And here's a story you might have missed this.
Okay, here's the question. President Trump went on a tirade on his social media. He wanted to know who in the hell gave Canada the right to supply the United States with electricity. Does anybody care to answer that question? Debbie?
Me? Who gave it the right?
Uh-huh.
The United States probably sourced it. Hello?
Who signed that Mexico and Canada trade deal?
He did.
Who, again, he said he don't know who would give Canada the right. You did, dummy.
He did. Like, come on now.
I'm like, are we kidding? Oh, Green Pepper got a channel. Let me go subscribe. Okay, I just subscribed to Green Pepper channel. I didn't know Green Bell Pepper had a channel. Well, of course they have a channel. I mean, they got a channel name, but I didn't know they had a real channel. And I don't know if any of you guys are following the Remy Ma and Papoose whole situation. Papoose went off on her on IG and TikTok, and he told everything about her and this woman. She started that shit because she's jealous of Khalees. Let's see. I was trying to find that rant on Twitter, but he wanted to know who gave Canada the right to provide electricity to the United States. No, who is that, Gwen? Is that the African leader that went in on Trump?
Why does that sound familiar?
It sounds familiar. That's what I'm asking. Who is that? Hold on, let me type his name in here. Look, Debbie. Let me type his name in here.
Start doing the clickety clack.
I'm doing it right now. That name sounds so familiar. Abraham. Troller. He's a military officer and politician who has served as interim. Is that the one I'm thinking about that went off on Trump? I just typed it in. The young Putin ally winning hearts across Africa. Who is Abraham? He's a Putin ally?
Wait, was he the one that was in the video that Trump played while the president of prime minister of South Africa was here? Was he the one who was screaming, "Kill the white people"?
I'm thinking that's him. I swore he did a speech on Trump. I saw it on IG. That's why that name was so familiar.
Right, but this man isn't that
But he's
video
an
clip
ally to
from
Putin.
right, but when he did that, that was years ago. He's not in the government.
But he is now. He's the youngest He's the youngest African president.
For where?
Let me see. The second coup a year, so we're in days that he was sworn in as president, becoming Africa's youngest leader. His rise owes what country? I don't know. He's from West Africa. He's a good-looking young man. President of Burkina Faso.
President of the transition, because it says here he's interim president of Burkina Faso since 2022. So that's telling me he a dictator.
So he's another Idi Amin?
I ain't saying all of that, but
You see another Idi Amin.
Considering who his friends are, it's along
He's
the
very
same
dignified.
genre.
Barron is a demon. Beware of his future. Oh shit, Just Beto. Hold on, let me go see if they got something about him on YouTube. But everybody was saying, I saw what Drea said, that people are saying that Barron looks like Justin Trudeau. Okay.
No, I
Ooh.
think Barron looks like the chief of security for Tiffany's.
Oh, he's live right now on Displore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not live, but they're playing his interview. Oh my God, he's putting out warnings and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I can't deal with somebody who's Russia backed. I'm sorry.
Russia sent, wait a minute, North Korea sent 700 commandos to guard him? What?
And he's a junta leader. Like, come on, y'all. What are we talking here? Miss me with this.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's look at this young man.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let's look at him. Because they're saying he's a Putin ally.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, this is 9 days ago. Let's see.
Imagine sitting in a crowded hall, every eye on you, knowing what you're about to say could change how the world sees your people forever. Ibrahim Traore's voice trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of the moment. Then, in a simple but shattering sentence, he said something that left millions around the world in tears, and Africa holding its breath. It was an ordinary afternoon in Los Angeles. But inside one auditorium, something extraordinary is about to unfold. Michelle Obama had taken the stage, her presence commanding yet comforting. A global leadership summit had drawn some of the world's most influential voices, and the former First Lady of the United States was among the most anticipated speakers. With every word, she inspired. With every pause, she invited reflection. She spoke of global unity, climate justice, education for all, political reform in developing nations. The audience listened intently, applauding and nodding. And then she turned a page. The name of a small West African nation emerged. Burkina Faso, she said, her voice steady, eyes reading carefully. She adjusted her glasses. Under the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré, we've seen some impressive strides, yes. But also, cause for concern. There was a hush. While the world applauds progress, we must always question power. Transparency. Accountability. Are these changes truly empowering the people, or are they simply consolidating control? The audience listened. Some applauded. Others furrowed their brows. Around the world, screens lit up with debates, commentaries, and hashtags. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, a different reaction was unfolding. President Ibrahim Traoré sat in his office, watching the broadcast. No aides stirred. No phones buzzed. Only the voice of Michelle Obama carried through the room. When it ended, he did not react with anger or frustration. His response was still. Then finally he spoke. "Prepare a response," he said to the small group around him. "But not to defend. To clarify. To show the world our truth." Traoré took to the podium. No teleprompter. No rehearsed script. Just heart and history. He looked into the camera, eyes steady. "Mrs. Michelle Obama," he began, his voice composed but resolute, "your concern is noted. And it is welcomed. But let me make something clear." He paused. "Our movement is not about grasping power. It is about reclaiming dignity." He reached for a worn photograph beside him. He held it up. A family stood in front of a modest house, solar panels glinting behind them. This family lived in darkness. Now
Okay,
their
so you know
children
this was
study under
AI,
light.
right?
This isn't
Yeah, I do
You,
know it's AI, but I wanted to hear what he. I know it's AI, but he's a good
but
looking
he's
man.
never gonna speak.
Oh, oh,
Just
there
the
he is
same
right
way
there.
that we never heard Michelle
But one thing
Obama
is certain.
speak.
Look,
You can't talk about
he's
sovereignty
speaking right there.
while having another country's army on your soil telling you what to do.
I'm gonna watch this. He's an intelligent young man. I'm gonna watch that. Yeah, it was AI. I know it was AI, but that thing captured me when he said he addressed Michelle Obama, and just like people were saying about how they were saying that whoever went up there and testified and Diddy lost his mind, that was all AI, and people were believing that because none of those people testified in that trial. But there's a lot of stuff on him on YouTube, the movement and everything. Oh, I wasn't showing you. There's a lot of stuff on him. Thank
Right,
you
but
for
as
bringing
soon
him to
as
my
it said that
attention.
he is backed by the Russians, that's all like propaganda from Russia.
Yep, he's backed by Russia.
Because
He's Putin's ally, is what they said.
right, but he was part of the military who took over this country by force in what, 2022? And it was supposed to
2022.
be transitional and still hasn't given up power. Y'all
Yep,
don't see nothing wrong with that. Okay.
he's young. Who's he meeting with there? Okay, I'm gonna have to check him out. He's young. But when I saw Putin ally, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Okay. Look at him. He looks, I mean, yeah, he looks scary. Look, he looks scary. And what the hell? I'm gonna have to watch this one. The shocking truth about Captain Ibrahim. Okay, we'll see. So Gwen saying that it wasn't by force, Debbie.
That's what a junta is.
Oh, so a junta is by force?
Yes.
Why Abraham? Why he's a threat? Oh shit! The United States is making veiled threats towards him. Okay. France caught using a woman to overthrow. This was 9 days ago. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look into this. He met Vladimir Putin. What they say he's an ally.
Mm.
Okay.
I would like to know of all the funding that's coming in there from Putin, it's probably all going to him in the military. And what about the people in that country? How are they faring? Just, curiosity.
I don't know, but now I'm gonna have to go look and not just listen to AI. I'm gonna have to listen to what he has to say. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna listen to his interviews,
Well, when
and
you
they're
do,
saying
make sure that
protecting
you
at
look at the
all costs.
fingers. Look at the fingers because it's
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna listen to
yeah.
AI. I'm talking about looking at interviews like this, when he's
Right.
coming off, like the interview, he was sitting there talking to that woman. That's what I'm
AI
talking
can
about.
manipulate those interviews
Well,
as
I'm gonna
well.
watch his mouth really closely. Look at this one.
Oh, what time? Ooh, I gotta go get ready for
Yeah.
90 Day.
Okay, you go get ready. I'm getting out of here, but
Mm-hmm.
leader 41 million takeover plot exposed. Okay, I'm gonna look at these. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I will check out Mr. Abraham. All right, guys, thank
Mm.
you for being here. I appreciate it. And don't know if George is going live or if Savage is going live. Savage is probably in the damn bed. It's 7:27. So look at some of his. Gwen, I'm gonna look at his videos, not AI. I'm gonna look at some of his videos when he was just talking about having other people's armies that are there and telling you what to do. I want to hear his speech. I want to hear him talk and see what he has to say. So I will definitely check him out and listen to him. I want to say thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Sweets, for coming in. And Debbie, we're gonna go live tomorrow night to discuss the reunion. You want to do it tomorrow night?
Who's having a reunion? Oh,
Sister Wives.
yeah.
Okay, but we got 90 Day tonight too. But we'll discuss it. Hi, Dustin. What channel do you want me to drop, Dustin? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get you a channel. Hold on. Hold on, Dustin. I'm going to drop you one in here so then you can have his name and you can just go look him up. Hold on. I'm just going to drop a channel so you can go just look him up and listen to him. And then you can go from there to find it. All right, guys. I'm out of here. And I got to pack. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Enjoy have a nice, safe Memorial Day tomorrow. Ah, reminds me of. I see what Sweets wrote. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Debbie, love you,
Mm-hmm.
sweet. I'll speak
All
at
right,
you later.
girl.
All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to bring us out with music. Bye, guys. You sent me a DM last night? Okay, Dreamsicle, hold on. Let me take a look. Hold on. Because when I'm in sleep mode, I don't get notifications. Hold on. Oh! No, I don't. I don't know how to cut. Well done. If you get this, if you watch the replay, could you please hit up Dreamsicle on IG? Thank you, ma'am. I see it, Dreamy.